find out about how to better yourself, and the man that helps us do that every single week, Harold Hillman from Sigmoid Curve, is here. How are you, Harold?
I'm fine, Mike. Happy Easter to you.
Same to you as well. Sorry I didn't bring any eggs into the studio. Well, I did. I've just eaten them all. But happy Easter. Today, people will be chilling out, and a lot of people think about, their jobs and employment, and they may have some opportunities. So I really like today's subject, which is how to make a good impression at a job interview.
That's right. That's
well, I'm
right.
nervous.
It is it's important. It is important in 2019. The whole process is a bit different than it was 10, certainly 20 years ago before the advent of social media. So,
And so many people as well, I guess, are fighting for jobs as well. So you've got to try and stand out, haven't you?
That's right. There's stronger competition. And face it, by the time you show up, sometimes being invited in for an interview is based on the preliminary research employers have done on you. So just be mindful of that around your social media, your brand. Don't do things today that you may regret 5 years from now because you were wanting to be funny, but it came across as being probably a bit more offensive, or things that you don't want people making assumptions, too hard assumptions about who you are before you actually drop in the chair.
That is a very good rule to learn. If you think it's going to be inappropriate for some relationships further down the line,
That's
you've
right.
got to think very, very hard before posting.
That's right.
Because if I was employing somebody, it would be one of the first things I do. To be honest with you, I would go into their Facebook page, their Instagram account, their Twitter. I would try and form some sort of opinion based on their public statements. So
I work with recruiters and executive search firms
they do that?
Right. Again, based on what they see, that will determine sometimes whether or not you actually get invited in.
Yes.
That's right.
Okay, cool. Right. Well, let's help everybody out, because I'm sure we've all been in a position where we've had a job interview.
Yeah, so you want to. It's really about presenting a positive image when you go in, and if you show up late or untidy or demonstrate poor manners, it can be taken as showing little respect.
Okay.
For those who are there. So there's always something about wanting to put your best foot forward in an interview.
Can you overdress for an interview though? Because if you're not a person that never wears a suit and you borrow a friend's suit, and you walk into an interview, do they go, "Oh, looks like he's borrowed his father's suit"?
Well, I would say make sure if you're going to borrow a suit, make sure you
get one that fits.
Get one that fits you. The general rule of thumb is it never hurts to be overdressed.
Okay.
In an interview,
Okay.
you can always take the jacket off. You can always undo the tie. But if there is a certain notion of respect that you're showing for the prospective employer.
Okay, no, good tip to get out of the way. Thank you.
Another thing is to, show some enthusiasm for the role when you do go in. Don't be overly serious or, to the point where it may come across as that you're just looking for a job.
Desperate.
And sometimes we are leaving a bad situation and trying to get ourselves into a better situation in a new job. But don't give the employer the sense that you're running from something.
Okay.
That it's more that you're running towards something, and here are the reasons why I really am interested and eager to, take on this role.
Okay. No, because that's a fine line though, isn't it? Because with any new job, you are excited.
That's right.
And you look at the opportunities that may lay in front of you. So you go in with a sense of, I really want this job. I want to show enthusiasm, but don't look desperate is what you're saying.
Don't look desperate. If you are leaving a bad situation and you want to go to a better situation, emphasize the better situation as opposed to sort of
leaving the bad.
Leaving the bad.
I need to get out of the shit I'm working and the boss is a dickhead.
Well, it raises concerns with a prospective employer.
Oh, good. I like this.
Yeah. So, and then match what you have in terms of your own skills with what they need. So rather than talking about what you can do in the abstract, take a look at the specific requirements on the posting,
right,
and be able to talk to each one of those with some real examples that you've had in your own scenario.
Okay, cool. Get that. Highlight the positives that will benefit the role.
That's right. And then tell relevant stories and give examples of your experience. And so, again, don't be in the abstract. Don't speak hypothetically about what you can do. Give some real stories in terms of projects you've led, teams you've helped to build, difficult scenarios you've had to, sometimes the job may be one that requires good relationship skills or negotiation skills or things like that. It'd be really helpful for a prospective employer
Okay,
to
give examples. Okay,
Yeah,
well, this is good
yeah.
stuff, Harold.
and then show that you have some room to grow. Here again, what's the energy you're projecting? So there's nothing worse than a know-it-all who drops into the chair sitting there for the interview like, you all should be blessed or fortunate that I'm here.
Right.
That's not going to get you anywhere fast. The whole idea is that you're there to learn. You're there to stretch yourself. And prospective employers, they like it when people are joining to, where the what we call the employee value proposition is that there's something in it for you, the person. There's something in it for the company itself. But prospective employers really do like it when you're joining them to stretch your own capability.
Okay, so note, don't be too cocky.
Don't be too cocky. That's right. And then ask thoughtful.
Clearly, have you ever interviewed anybody for a media job? I bet you they must be some of the most fascinating interviews.
I imagine. I never thought about that, but you're right.
Wow.
You're right.
Confident lot us media people are. Okay, cool. Okay, so don't be cocky, yes.
That's right. And then ask thoughtful questions. Questions, they really do say a great deal about who you are. And it's a way for you to demonstrate that you've thought about it a bit. And so that
Can you
would
give an example? What do you mean?
Well, just ask about the company. And,
Okay, right.
and where does the company see itself growing over the next 10 years or so in terms of whether or not that's going to be an exciting proposition for you. Ask a little bit about the history, maybe the team you're joining, maybe the sort of the operational side, but come in curious about something.
Right.
In relation to it. It does raise a red flag where there are just no questions.
No, and that brings me to a good point because there's the show on TV called, I think it's The Interview, where they have recruiters that interview people and they film it, and they go through the process of people applying for a job, and they really highlight the things that they do and don't do well. And one thing that fascinates me is the amount of people that come in for a job interview that know nothing about the company that they're coming to work for.
That's right.
They haven't even looked online
That's
to
right.
see what branches there are around the country. They haven't looked at, exactly what the company does and how big they are. And I'm thinking, how could you go for a job interview with a company and not know about the company, but at the same time ask questions about where the company's going?
That's right. Do your
Okay.
do your research. It's just it's just one of those basic
isn't it?
things.
Yeah.
To when you walk in, know a little bit about the company, but be curious about other things that, particularly in areas that you want to grow.
Because this guy came in for an interview, he wanted to do the photos for a food place that makes food. And he thought that just on his photography alone that he would be selected for the job, but he had no idea the types of food that the company even made.
Yeah.
So when they asked him, how would you set up our signature dish?
Yeah.
He said, I don't know what your signature dish is. And they were like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
not done your research.
That's a perfect example right there.
Okay.
You really should. There's just something about being prepared that certainly helps. You can do all of these things, but the thing that hasn't changed that much over the last couple of decades is this thing called the connection.